Yo, wedding photographer, let me tell you how I spent the last 10 years building my wedding photography business. So you don't have to waste your time trying to build a photography business. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to teach you how I went from making $50 my first wedding all the way up to $3,500 a wedding. Also, I'm going to teach you how to not buy camera gear so that you could get clients instead of buying camera gear, because that's the big mistake that I made in the beginning. And also how I pivoted to doing videography and no longer doing weddings, because weddings gave me a deposit. That's something I need for you to think about as you want to go into wedding photography. Wedding photography gives you deposits, but videography, if you create content for people in your area that have a business, they're going to pay you up front, and now you're going to have money month to month and no longer waiting for deposits and then the remaining balance. So yeah, my first wedding I shot was only $50, and it was an hour away from where I stay. So that wasn't even gas money, and I shot the wedding for about 10 hours. So that's when I realized, like, yo, I have to have a business model as far as how I'm going to shoot these weddings and make it profitable. But at first, I thought it was the camera gear, because I started buying different cameras and things like that. But what I had to actually do was learn the camera that I had to make sure that I could get the best, sharpest images. And I had to work on being a business owner, because I never was a business owner. I quit my job. But at my job, I wasn't a business owner. I was actually working in the business. So the CEO of that company, that is the person that runs that business. But now I'm the CEO of my company, and I had to understand how to structure my wedding photography business so that it could work for me. So yeah, fast forward up to 3 years ago from this date, I started growing my brand on social media. Nobody told me I had to actually create content in order to expand my brand. But if you think about it, right, like, what is the difference between Adidas and Michael Jordan? His shoes. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to be the Michael Jordan of photography, but I had Converse type of photography marketing. Nobody wanted to buy my shoes. So I had to put myself in position in order to grow my brand and actually get people out there to know who I am. Because as photographers, we stand behind our brand and think that people are going to contact us off of our photos. But now people want to understand who we are and what we do. So they want to understand your morals, your values, your life, all the things that you keep private. They want to know about it. They want to know about your brand outside of that, the person you just take photos. It makes sense if you think about it. So if you hire someone to do a job that is going to be around your family, you see what I'm saying? And they may be an introvert and your family may be an extrovert. Like, it's going to be weird on a wedding day. So you have to build a brand on social media. Just be yourself. And on YouTube and things like that, just be yourself, so that the people that want to work with you, they have no problem hiring you, because they know your lifestyle, they know your personality, they know everything about you. And if you have some things in common, they're going to be like, okay, I can work with that person, and I can have that person on my wedding day because they can relate to you. So while I was building my brand, right, the brand was being built, but I was also not knowing how to understand sales. That's opposite from brand building, because once you get a client or a bride on the call, you have to sell to them. That's another piece that wedding photographers don't understand. We like to talk about the deliverables and the amount of time we spend on their wedding day, but they don't care nothing about that. The brides want to know if they're going to have a stress-free wedding day. You're going to be there to pose them, and you're going to be that person that guide them through the process on a wedding day to make sure all the photos are captured. That's the things you want to tell the bride on the call, because that's what's going to help them make the decision. You can't come talking to the bride on a call and just talking about deliverables. That's not a vision to them. You have to talk about the problems that they have in their head as far as their wedding day and the photos, and then let them know the things that you're going to do to make that process easy for them. And once I started doing that, that's when I started closing clients, brides and things like that. I had to start talking about their pain point and letting them know on the call that I am going to take away those pain points on their wedding day. Because if you talk about the deliverables and things like that, those are the only things that we know about. So you have to talk about from a perspective so that they can know what you're going to actually do on their wedding day, the things that they're thinking about that's overwhelming about a wedding day as far as photos. That's what you want to communicate to them on a call, and they'll be ready to book you no matter what the price is, because you ease that pain. Once you start doing that, now you're introducing your wedding photography business into successful as far as getting sales on a call. But here's the biggest thing that I learned as far as shooting weddings for the past 10 years. That business model is broken, because I've shot weddings for the past 10 years, but I never had a structure as far as receiving payments. You see what I'm saying? As far as like receiving all my income at one time. You know, weddings, they want to give you a deposit and the remaining balance later. But I started shooting business owners later on, and business owners were basically paying me up front, and then we were scheduling out their event or creating content the following week. So now it's like a more sustainable income, and you don't want to have to wait like a year out to shoot a wedding. As far as like business owners, you can, do that next week, and you can make plans after that date. So that's business model for me was perfect, because my daughter started playing softball and my Saturdays were booked out. So I was like, I had to change my business model. And so once I started working with business owners, people that actually are building businesses like me, I'm learning a lot about the business space. So now that I'm learning a lot about the business space, I learned that business owners also are taking care of their families at the same time I'm taking care of my family. And they are also having the weekends off to enjoy that time. And they pay me up front. So once I figured all that out, it was nothing but a great, great move for me and my business. And I've been less stressful. I don't have to worry about looking for brides. I don't have to worry about living off deposits and trying to figure out how I'm going to pay next month's bills. It's just the ease of mind, and just so much clarity in my business, so that I can just start building from here. Because with business owners, they want to build relationships. The brides are just a one-time thing, and that's it. So if you are working with business owners, you can go ahead and work from month to month. So as you can see, I have a lot of knowledge with creating content for weddings and also creating content for small business owners. In my community I am building, I'm going to teach you how to create content for those two categories. And also I'm going to teach you how to get a lead magnet so that you could bring leads into your business, and then how to nurture your leads, because that's the biggest model as far as going forward to growing your business. You have to create content. You have to have a lead magnet, and you also have to nurture your audience, because we think that as soon as somebody see our content, they're supposed to contact us then. But that's not how it works. People are seeing how long that you can keep consistently doing the things you're doing, so that they can see that they can work with you later. That's how the business model works. It's patience. And once you build that over time, you're going to build a business. That's how I was able to quit my job, by building my business like that. That's what I'm doing on YouTube as well. I'm doing that as well, bringing in leads on YouTube. So you're going to be a lead for me as far as joining the community. But this is the process, because you have to understand how to structure your business so that you could get people into your business. That's how the business model works if you want to be a full-time wedding photography or full-time videographer for small business owners. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. Comment community below if you would like to join the community so that you can grow your wedding photography or videography business. That's all I got right now. So see you in the meantime. Check out this video. I'm out. Cheers.